What's going on, people? It's the Bear here once again. So, the wrestling community is in an uproar. And I was going to talk about this yesterday. I'm going to talk about it today. I'm just going to put my 2 cents into it. The wrestling community is in an uproar. And they have every right to be. Because yesterday, Tony Khan made the decision to fire CM Punk. CM Punk has became a problem in AEW for a while. But I want to give you the story of before I get into this whole thing and read this article about when CM Punk, when he was in the WWE, the last time he was in WWE, and then he left for a while, and then when he joined AEW and so on. So, from what I know, the last time I remember CM Punk was when he was in WWE, and he was doing the pipe bomb in John Cena's match. John Cena lost the match or something I think John Cena lost that match. And here comes CM Punk. He comes out and he talks about Vince McMahon. He talks about Stephanie and Shane and all this other stuff, And that was the pipe bomb that everyone remember. Now, this was about, what? Was it 2011, 2013? I don't know. It's been like 10 years or so. Okay? So, CM Punk leaves for a while and he tries AMA. Didn't go well. Matter of fact, CM Punk got his ass whooped in UFC. He was trying. I guess he was trying to do some AMA, but his first match on being on UFC, he got slaughtered. Okay, so before coming to AEW, there was an announcement. Now, what happened? There was a pay-per-view. I think it was a pay-per-view or a show that was coming up, and there was supposed to be a rumor of CM Punk returning. Now, this was just a rumor at the time, right? There was not a match card. There was not one match on that card. But just having a rumor of CM Punk returning, that show or that pay-per-view sold out. This was the big moment when CM Punk was returning to wrestling. Okay? I'm not quite sure if that was a pay-per-view or, I think that was a pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken. And that was just a rumor, There was not one match. But just to hear CM Punk returning to wrestling in Chicago was a big thing. So, on the day CM Punk returns, they had the largest crowd reaction I have ever heard in WWE, AEW, any other wrestling company, ever. There was a guy in the audience who was reaching out his hand like Jesus just returned. And he just wanted to touch CM Punk, but he was way out. The seats where he was at was way out somewhere. But he was crying. Now, this was Chicago. I understand that CM Punk have very, very loyal fans in Chicago, And, and I tell you, CM Punk has stirred an uproar in AEW. A lot of the locker room don't like him. He's a cocky guy. And they, let's fast forward to a few months, well, let me go before I even get into fast forward in a few months. Last year, I think it was All Out last year, at the medium scrum. He has a feud with the Elite, okay? And there was a fight, and CM Punk got suspended, and the Elite got suspended. Okay? Now, that was September of last year. Let me see. And then before July of this year, Tony Khan said that he was going to make a show. He was going to make another show to split the roster. And that's when AEW Collision came out. Who shows up? CM Punk. CM Punk he's the headline of the show. He's the guy. He's the man. And everybody cheered him and welcomed him back. And ever since then, here we go all over again. So, All In was in, let me see, that was a few weeks ago. And for what I know, he had a beef with Jack Perry, something like that. This guy, Jack Perry, was talking trash on the microphone about CM Punk or whatever. And CM Punk confronted him, and there was a fight. From what I heard, there was some kind of video or something like that was out. And then CM Punk gets suspended. Again. And then CM Punk just said, forget this. I can't take this no more. Goes up to Tony Khan and just raises hell with him. And now we are here with CM Punk being fired. Oh my goodness, man. I gotta tell you something, man. When they have, now all In just happened, right? About a couple of weeks ago. Okay? You fire CM Punk just now, but you got All Out coming up in Chicago. What do you think is going to happen in Chicago? They're going to riot. There's going to be big riots in Chicago. Trust and believe. Without CM Punk. See, I mean, Tony Khan did the right thing, but still. But anyway, let's get into this there. This is from ESPN.com. All Elite Wrestling fires top star CM Punk with cause. All Elite Wrestling on Saturday announced that it has fired top star CM Punk with cause after AEW investigated an incident that occurred during its All In pay-per-view show last Sunday at Wembley Stadium in London. Punk and fellow AEW wrestler Jack Perry, the son of late actor Luke Perry, reportedly got into a physical altercation backstage during the pay-per-view event. AEW statement, which was issued on X, formerly known as Twitter, said Punk's wrestling and employment contracts have both been terminated. Following the investigation, the AEW Discipline Committee met and later convened with outside legal counsel before making an unanimous recommendation to AEW owner Tony Khan that CM Punk be terminated with cause. AEW statement read, Khan, AEW CEO, general manager, and head of creative, said in a accompanying statement that he wishes he didn't have to share this news because Tony Khan was a CM Punk guy. He really was, but made a decision in the best interest of the many amazing people who make AEW possible every week. AEW is scheduled to have a pay-per-view All Out on Sunday at United Center in Chicago, the day after its weekly Saturday Collision television show in the same building. Punk, whose real name is Phil Brooks, is a Chicago native and a major star in the city. You can read the rest of all this here, I'm just gonna say this here. Like I said, Punk has been a big problem for AEW. They had to split the rosters. That's why they had AEW Collision and AEW Dynamite, just so that they would. How can one man be such a big problem in a company that you have to split rosters because of one guy? It doesn't make sense. Seriously. You know, and then, and there's a lot of people, there's a bunch of babies. It's a bunch of whining babies in AEW. Seriously. See, I'd never seen no stuff like this. I mean, I know a lot of people is going to be on CM Punk's side of the side. Well, why are you taking him CM Punk? I mean, he's a jackass. He's this and he's that. And then you got the other people. Well, CM Punk is just trying to get along with, he ain't that bad. He's just misunderstood, And whatever how you feel about CM Punk or whatever, he's an entertainer, Yes, he's very cocky. Yes, he likes to get his way. Yes, but he's an entertainer. He's a wrestler. Well, let me say no. I can't say entertainer. I have to say wrestler. He's a professional wrestler. But he can ruffle some feathers, from the antics that he does. Yes, I completely agree. I gotta take back that entertainer, because you say, when you say entertainer, you're saying WWE. You gotta say professional wrestler. So let me take back the entertainment part. Let me take back the entertainer. There's two main stars that I like in AEW, and that's MJF and CM Punk. That's about it. That's about it. I think they have too many championships in AEW. I think they got too many whining babies in AEW. I think there's a lot of people that just need to grow up, and stop always running to Tony Khan. Every time they have a problem with a wrestler, they run to Tony Khan and stuff. Who's running the asylum there? Who's running the place? Is it the inmates or is it the warden? Because it seems like to me in AEW, it's the inmates that's running the place. It's not Tony Khan. It really isn't. And then you fired CM Punk before All Out in Chicago. Before Tony Khan, seriously? You could have did it afterwards. Oh man, I tell you, this is going to have such a huge backlash. A huge backlash. Mark my words. There's going to be something happening at AEW All Out in Chicago. Mark, I'm telling you right now, Tony Khan, I think you made a mistake. I think, like I say, you should have did it after All Out in Chicago. Your viewership is going to go down. People are going to stop watching. A lot of people is going to stop watching AEW and turn back to WWE. I mean, you may have some people from WWE that will go to AEW. To be honest, it really doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter to me, but I just believe that this is going to have a big blow to AEW with Tony Khan doing this. I understand his reason, but at the same time, you could have did it later, man. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, it's the Bear and I'm out. Peace.